I can't believe it's already been a full year since I sat down and have given a life update like this. To be honest, I'm a very shy person and sitting down and doing this is very hard for me to do, but I've had more practice in front of a camera this year on my own, and I hope through that you've been able to see more of my personality and who I am. It's been a very big growing year for me, not just on a bike, but personally as well. Obviously, a lot has changed in my life, and adjusting to that has come with a lot. There was a lot of times where I felt very insecure, didn't know what to do, felt lost, wanted to give up, lots of crying, but I also had a lot of really good, fun times. And when I look back at all the things I did as I recapped my year on Instagram, I felt very happy with all the things that I had done and experienced. And this year I put a big focus on just finding who I am again, finding my independence, and connecting with as many people as I could, growing connections with old friends and making new friends, which has ended up being the most supportive year I've ever had. And that was really great to have. I also had the best year on a mountain bike I've ever had. I got to ride the most I have since I've started. And I had the most fun I've ever had on a bike. I can't remember if I just said that. But yeah, it was just such a fun year riding with friends and learning more about bikes. It's definitely different when you get to learn by trial and error on things. And sometimes that is necessary in life, to learn on your own and be able to fail a little bit and struggle. So behind the scenes, I spent time learning how to work on my bikes and just figuring out what parts I need. Luckily, I also developed a really good relationship with a local shop, Bikes and Beans. Andrew over there, shout out to you. Anytime I came to a point on my bike where I wasn't sure what to do, or if I wanted to start working on it on my own at the shop and have the extra support when I got stuck, someone could help me. They were really cool in assisting with that. So it's been really nice to have that support locally. And of course, I had a lot of support with my sponsors as well this year. And if I had any specific questions, I could reach out to them directly and get good answers and help. That's a good time to lead into next year, some of my plans. Since I got a lot figured out on my own, got my feet on the ground, a little bit more established in what I'm doing with bikes, I plan to do some more helpful how-to videos. I didn't feel as comfortable doing many of them this year or this past year because I was learning so much on my own, and I didn't want to falsely make a video of how to if I didn't fully know. So I plan, now that I have more knowledge, to get some information directly from the source with sponsors and be able to create some helpful how-tos for you guys. So with sponsors, that would be more product oriented, and that'll be more tech how-tos, which there hasn't been a ton on the channel yet, and I'm excited to do that. I will for sure be working with Schwalbe and SR Sun Tour to give some tire and suspension tips. I would also like to do more with Shimano to figure out what I can do for how-tos. I had a really great how to ride clipless video with Jill Kintner this year, and I want to continue doing more riding how-tos as well. A big thing I learned this last year was how to whip. I learned that on my own. I would really like to do a tutorial on that because that is the #1 thing I've always wanted to do on a bike, and so happy I've learned it. I want to partner with a really good rider on that who I think is perfect to help teach that, and I just need to link up with him this year. He's a very busy guy and a great friend though. Every video I make is intentional, and I'm always trying to provide some value for you. And obviously the how-tos are the most value, and that's why I want to get back to more of those. But I hope over this past year, the most value I provided has been inspiration. I want to continue to do that as well as I also progress on the bike. I want to touch a little bit on racing and what my plans are with that. If you followed for a long time, you may remember me saying that I had no interest in it. And then you've probably also noticed that I did race a little bit this year. I also officially turned pro at Whistler, and I had a lot of fun doing that and getting to race a lot of the friends that I've made. The reason I raced a little bit this year is I just found myself at a lot of events that had races going on, and I was hanging out with a lot of racers. So I kind of started getting the bug again to race a little bit. If you know a little bit more about my past, I did race dirt bikes professionally for about 7 seasons. That is part of why I have progressed faster on a mountain bike. And if you do also have a similar experience as mine, you know that it doesn't transfer completely as well as you hoped it would if you go from motocross to mountain bikes, but it does help. So yeah, I have a long history of racing dirt bikes. I don't race anymore and I haven't for a long time, but it has been fun racing a little bit on mountain bikes. And my thoughts on racing are, I just want to stick to races that sound fun to me. I want to continue to keep riding fun, and I don't want to take it so serious, but also like I still want to try. So I picked the ones that looked fun to me. Races like the Air DH at Whistler looked the most fun to me because it combined downhill with a lot of jumps, which is basically my favorite type of riding. And it was very long, I think around like 5 minutes for the trail. And I did have a lot of fun with that. It was so cool to be part of Crankworx. I dabbled a little bit in slalom. I did the straight acre slalom to support Kyle and Rachel. And I realized that I'm really horrible at that, which I kind of already knew. It'll be fun to maybe try a little bit more of that because that is also a style that I think is fun. And I did dabble a little bit in enduro, but I'm interested in e-bike enduro to keep it fun for myself as well, because honestly, I really do not enjoy the grind of pedaling. And if I have some assist, it's just more fun for me, especially for an enduro. Like, that's just a different breed than what I am. And I am not the type of person to just grind out suffering. If you do, I envy you, but please don't judge me. So there's a few fun enduros that I hope to do again this year. And who knows, maybe I'll enter some other stuff. Since I did learn how to whip, I had joined a few whip contests or jump jams, and I hope to continue that progression as well. It would be cool to enter a proper whip off, but those jumps are very big and scary, and that would be a great accomplishment though. I also feel like I've gravitated towards the free riders just through my love of jumps, and I can't say that I'm good at tricks or am a trick person, but I might try to dabble in that a little bit. You're definitely not going to see me trying to go for Rampage, but I've just gotten to enjoy getting to know a lot of people in that space, and I'd love to join some events, especially women's events in that space, and just continue to grow all around on a bike. So those are my thoughts on racing, and you just kind of never know where things will take you, and I want to keep an open mind with riding and let experiences and opportunities come to me while also keeping it fun still. So I look forward to whatever else I end up doing this next year. So before I get too far with rambling on, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that stuck by me this year. It really means a lot to me. And for anybody new to the channel, thank you for joining. I just really appreciate it a ton. So every time you watch a video, like and comment, I really appreciate it. And for this video, I'd love to hear some comments as well for what you would maybe like to see video-wise from me this year, or maybe if there's anything you enjoyed this past year, I'd love to hear that as well. And of course, I can't make these videos without the support of my sponsors, and I want to thank those that are continuing on with me for 2025. I have RE Bikes, which I absolutely love every single bike that I have, and I truly think that it has helped me progress on my bike this year because they really are just so good and so fun. And every time I stopped by the headquarters this year, I got this feeling of when I was leaving that I just love them so much. I love the company and all the people that work there. They're just so amazing, and they've added so many great riders onto their roster this year, and I've had such a great time getting to know a lot of them. And for suspension, I have SR Centaur, which I've been with the whole time I've ridden, and it has been such a fun year trusting myself in setting up my suspension for my bikes. And that is just really empowering for me, and knowing that it's not as hard as you may think. But I am also really excited to learn more straight from them to pass on to you guys as well. And another brand I've always ridden with is Shimano, and it has also been a lot of fun learning about all of their parts. There's just so much to that. It's definitely the most complex because they do have a lot of parts, so there's a lot to learn there. And I also am excited to pass on some information on that too. So let me know if there's anything specific that you want to know from them. And for tires, I'm still with Schwalbe, and it's a very exciting time for them because they have so much new technology coming out. They have the radial tires and they have a new valve stem, which will make airing up your tires so much easier. So I can't wait to share more information about that as the products became more available, because they pretty much have been sold out with the radial tires since they came out, and I haven't even been able to try it yet. But that is good because it sounds like it is a very good tire. And for online supplier, I'm still at Jensen USA, and I've started reviewing some products for them on their YouTube page. So if you haven't seen any of those, check that out, and I plan to do more this year. So make sure to subscribe to their channel to see those videos, and hopefully I can put to skill some of my background where I was a graphic designer making products for 10 years. So especially when it comes to apparel, I have a lot of expertise in that and can provide some extra value besides just being a writer. But I will go past that and review other things as well outside of apparel. And finally, I am still with laser helmets, which is the most important thing to protect your head. So I'm glad I can trust them with that. And in conclusion to that, I just wanted to say thank you to a sponsor that I will be partnering with this year, which is Project Filter. And I had a great few years with them, and I really enjoyed working with them because they are such a great cause. In Idaho, they help people with resources to quit tobacco products if they choose to do so, which I still support and believe in, and I'm just really thankful for the time I had with them. And of course, I also want to give a very special thank you to the Patreons that have stuck by me. I really appreciate it so much. I do also want to share that I post to Instagram a lot, especially to my stories. So if you're interested to keep up with me more, here is my handle to follow along if you have Instagram as well. I'm really looking forward to this year to continue improving my skills, both on the bike and videos for you, and continue building relationships with people and new experiences. So cheers to the new year, and I hope it's good for you too.